Greetings and salutations, viewers. I'm StarPrincessHLC, and welcome back to Asagao Academy. Well, last time we got the bad ending. We thought we did okay, but we apparently did not. So now we're gonna try a few different things. For one, I'm gonna actually tell PBG this time about what happened to Jacques. See if that does anything differently. Because what we've been doing thus far has not been working out for us, so maybe PBG can help us. We'll see. You can't tell anybody. I wasn't even supposed to find out, I don't think. But I want you to be able to take care of him. PBG nodded gravely and bent towards me. I cupped my hand around his ear. Jacques broke. PBG snapped upright, a look of horror on his face. He wasn't in the room last night, now that I think about it. Oh man, this is not good. You're not gonna tell him I told you, are you? PBG looked at me, then smiled as if he were holding a baby kitten. He patted the top of my head lightly. Of course not. I'm not stupid. I know you wouldn't want him to know, but thanks for telling me. I grumbled as I straightened my bow, smiling in spite of myself. I was glad I could rely on PBG. I'll try to just pretend I noticed it if I even bring it up. The loss of a pet can be really hard, so I know what he's going through. PBG touched a hand to his neck, suddenly staring into space.
Hey!
You okay? Sorry? Oh, anyways, I'll make sure to take care of him. Thanks for letting me know. No, thank you. I'm glad you're looking out for him. You're a good friend. PBG smiled, then tipped his head back. Yeah, I know. I shoved him, giggling, then went back to my desk. PBG seems like a decent guy. Maybe I should try romancing him if I decide to continue with this series. I don't know. Still, I wasn't comfortable just leaving John alone for the day. As Miss Shizuka entered and started taking roll, I made up my mind. I had to go check on him. Alright, so I think it's back to where we are because I get the skip option, so I'll catch up with you when we get to another option and see what happens. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I have 15 points at the moment, but we'll see what happens. Oh, here's another little thing. I guess when John comes back to school, PBG dotes on him, making sure he came to lunch and checking over his homework before he turned it in. Okay, so that's a good sign. At least PBG seems to be genuinely helping his friend. Occasionally he and I made eye contact from across the room and he'd give me a thumbs up. So maybe that might also help if PBG is helping out John, then maybe he might do well in his tournament later on, so we'll see. Those are my only indications that John was doing okay. But at least John was around, even if we weren't talking. That put my mind at ease. Well, that's a plus. But we still have more to do and see what happens. We're still at 15 points. We need to, I think, be at least 20 if we can win the tournament, so we'll see what happens. Well, this is new. I think across the way PBG spilled half his packet of peanuts. I traded looks with him. Yeah, because when Shane asked where Jacques was. Well, I mean, you know, sometimes birds need to migrate for a while. Jacques just went on a little vacation, a permanent one. Migration? You mean what birds do for the winter? It's spring now. Heck, it's almost summer. Jacques' species doesn't even do that kind of thing besides. Oh. Okay, we're having a fight. Well, thank you so much for telling me what I already know about my own bird. I'm saying that Jacques wanted to take a bit of a break, okay? Don't go question me just because you're an elitist British know-it-all. That's not what I was doing. It just didn't make any sense. So you thought I was lying. He stood up abruptly. PBG put a hand on his shoulder. Hey dude, calm down. Let's just finish the rest of the meal, eh? I can't believe this. John got his tray and stormed out of the room. I watched him go with worry in my heart. So, PBG is stepping in to help. That is a plus, but who knows if this could cause me trouble later. He wouldn't want company after that, would he? I wouldn't, certainly. I turned back to my plate, but PBG cleared his throat. He jerked his head towards the door. Did he think I should go? But every time I tried to help John with his problems, he completely pushed me away. I didn't want to make him angry again. What should I do? Ooh, we got another thing. Well, PBG seems insistent on me going to help him, so I'm gonna go after him. I'm sorry, I'll be going on ahead. As I stood and gathered my things, something like relief crossed the other's faces. Just let him do whatever he needs to do. I'm sure you'll help. I haven't seen much of you lately, Jared, so Hi, and you're still sparkling. Stop sparkling. You're not a vampire. You can even count the colons as vampires, just saying. The others nodded and murmured their support. I smiled. Thanks, guys. Just before I left, Shane grabbed a hold of my arm. Tell John I'm sorry, too. I will, Shane. Don't worry. As I dumped my tray, I found myself chuckling. Shane and John were more similar than I thought. They always found a way to say just the wrong thing at exactly the wrong time. It's just that one's got a British accent. And one's got a bird. Well, not anymore, apparently. Found John sitting on a bench just outside the cafeteria, gazing into the branches of one of Asagao's many well-maintained trees. He didn't look up as I sat down, and I didn't say anything. Instead, I kept him company, listening to the wind gently whistle through the branches. I'm sorry about what I said, Hana. Don't worry about it. It's all water under the bridge. I shouldn't have... I know you were in a rough place. I should have thought more before I suggested it to you. John just nodded slowly. Shane says he's sorry. He doesn't have to be sorry. I'm the one who overreacted. He just says what's on his mind, doesn't he? Yeah, it's what I like about him. There wasn't much either of us could say. I wanted to broach the subject of the pet store again, but I wasn't about to destroy the relative peace of this moment. For the first time, John wasn't mired in grief or denial. For the first time, he just seemed kind of quiet. I'm sorry I've been so difficult. I shook my head. The circumstances are trying. Honestly, you managed to hold yourself together well. He nodded slowly, then a small smile crossed his lips. Thank you for telling PBG. I didn't? He chuckled softly, and I knew there was no point in denying it. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure someone was looking out for you. You did, and you were looking out for me too. Thank you. Okay, so telling Mai is a bad thing, but telling PBG is okay. Well, we're getting a lot more options with this, so... Aside, he stood up, wiggling the creaks out of his legs. I'm heading back to my dorm. Tell Miss Shizuka I wasn't feeling as well as I thought I was. You really shouldn't skip this much class. You already missed a full day. He shrugged. It's only school. I'll manage. With a half-hearted wave, he disappeared toward the lane to Bluebell House. I frowned as I watched him go. At least he seemed to be getting better? No, that was hard to say for sure. Sometimes I thought he was doing better, but then sometimes there were regressions. But I guess that was just how situations like this went. At least he was self-aware. Self-awareness went a long way when it came to things like this. I'd say so. Okay. When I got to the dorm that evening, exhausted after the tension of the day, and having to explain to PBG and Shane why John hadn't come to class, all I wanted to do was sit and practice my game. But of course, things were never that easy. Oh, are we back to badly playing? Yep, okay. So, at least we're trying to get some practice in. That's a plus, so I guess we'll see what happens in a little bit to catch up with you guys. Okay, we're here at a new section with PBG here. We're at the soccer field. And he's got some stuff to say. I know Jean's been struggling since Jacques left, but now there's a new Jacques? It's blatantly obvious it's not the real Jacques, but John keeps trying to convince me that it is, even though he knows I know otherwise. I didn't want to say anything about it since John was so adamant, but it's really weirding me out. His grades are failing, he's hardly sleeping anymore. And on top of that, he's not showing up to meetings or paying any attention to club business. He's one of the founders, he can't just leave everything to us. We're a team, we all need to work together. And now he's dragged you into it too. Yeah, you got a point there. Well, I'm perfectly fine. Let's see what else you have to say. No, we're just skipping more. Okay, catch up to you when we don't have a skipping part. You bet I am. Wait, am I actually doing good? Oh, I got 30. Oh, I should definitely win this time. You bet I am. Ready to go? This man turned to us. Ian and I nodded. Then, 3, 2, 1... Start. Yeah, the game began. I immediately clicked to fill my screen with 2 more lines of blocks. Ian began working with what he had. I scanned the blocks for the pink cards, eliminating them one by one, making combos where I could. I still wasn't advanced enough to play tons of combos and ahead of time, but I could make it much more likely for combos to happen through probability. The pinks were all but gone. Green leaves were next. Dumby-Doom started flipping at the top of the screen. Ian must be comboing, which meant I had a few seconds before those blocks would fall. I set up a combo on top of the screen and started eliminating the orange blocks below it. Then it happened. A 6 combo jumped at me from on the screen. My eyes crossed as I stared at it in shock. I just had to move the top block over one space. I'm getting so excited I'm stumbling on my words. Then as quickly as I saw it, it vanished. The blocks looked normal again. You're dead. As Ian's blocks fell upon my humble kingdom, I slid the combo into place. 2, 3, 4 combo, 5 combo, 6 combo, 7 combo, 8 combo. Ian's attack converted to blocks and hovered above mine. I set up several more combos and waited for them to fall. 10 combo, legendary. Dumby-Doom started farting out rainbows over Ian's zone, and then... blocks. So many blocks. They didn't come in a chug, they came in a torrential downpour all over Ian's side, sliding from left to right and back again. Ian blinked, his hands and eyes moving frantically over the screen. I wasn't sure he had ever seen something like that before. I sure hadn't. I continued to combo while this was happening, but at this point there was no need. Ian's screen filled up. He kept trying to make combos until the very end, but... game over. Oh yeah, we won, baby. That was it. I won. Woohoo! I stared dumbfounded at the screen in front of me. Ian's mouth hung open. The room was silent. Then...
whoa!
Yeah, Hana!
Aw, yeah.
I knew you could do it. I glanced up to see the room applauding. All of it, even the Hidden Block Club. The announcer was gaping at the screen. I've never seen a score that high. Oh man, I passed with flying colors, baby. Certain I was red as a tomato, I stood to climb off the platform. Not so fast. Ian stepped in front of me, grim as always. I braced myself for his infamous sarcasm. But, to my surprise, he laughed.
Hana.
That was a hell of a game, Hana. That's exactly what I wanted from you. He held a hand in the air, and I looked at it in confusion. Don't leave me hanging. Oh! I high-fived him, and he clasped my hand in his. Thanks, Hana, that was fun. Then he disappeared into the pressing crowd. At least we know that our rivals of the Hidden Block Club are actually pretty decent dudes. Then again, I think they're also based off of real-life YouTubers as well, so... I forced my way through it myself, eager to find John. A bouquet of roses was thrust into my vision. I took it and looked up. I thought you deserved flowers after your wondrous debut. Since you didn't get any last night at all, a lead actress deserves to be given flowers. I gazed at the deep red roses, happiness flooding me. This time, they truly meant something.
John.
Thank you.
I
Anyways, I've got to get going for my event. Wish me luck. I don't need to. I'm coming with you. Okay, let's get going. Alright, well, we'll see what happens with John. I have a feeling he's... yeah, that's what I figured. I figured he wasn't going to do, well on that one. Sadly, you still did well despite the circumstances. I'm sure I did. At least you won the event. Maybe with that, we still have a chance. And just like that, John was his regular cheery self, though still a bit tired. Wanna go look around? Are you sure you're alright? He shrugged. It's over. What am I gonna do? Mourn? He grinned at me and I chuckled half-heartedly. Too soon, John. Too soon. Then let's go play.
yeah!
Alright. Well, let's see what happens this time. Eventually, the MC took the stage, ready to announce the winner of the tournament. John's hand slid into my own as the MC opened the tiny envelope containing the results. Why am I having such trouble stumbling today? And the winner of this year's tournament is... the Normal Boots Club! Oh yeah, we scored a victory for the group. Yes! John and I screamed and punched the air. Then, given that our hands were intertwined, it looked like we combined forces to take out some kind of monster anime style. That sounds awesome. The Normal Boots Club and I swarmed the stage, piling around both the trophy and the MC. John grabbed the microphone from the MC, who looked as though he'd been mugged. This year's victory goes right to the rest of my club members. I really dropped the ball, and if it weren't for them, there's no way we would have won. John motioned to the group of us on stage, pausing to allow for the audience's applause. Oh yeah! Finally, I have 2 announcements. First of all, join us in welcoming Hana Mizuno, the newest member of the Normal Boots Club, and my girlfriend. A storm of gas flew from the men around me. John motioned me to the front of the stage where I stood next to him, blushing furiously.
See?
We couldn't have won without her. Ain't she cute? John! I shoved him and the crowd laughed. Then something soft encircled me. PBG had wrapped a Normal Boots jacket around my shoulders. Thank you. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have won, and Asagao Academy wouldn't have a drama club. She's the real hero of this day. The audience applauded politely once again. John smiled gently at me, then turned to face the crowd with a rather serious expression. Finally, I have one more announcement. He waited a few moments for the crowd to settle. As they saw the look on his face, the mood sobered. I would also like to dedicate this victory to our fallen comrade in arms, Jacques. Sadly, he is no longer with us. I haven't been able to find a way to repair him, and until that day comes, our robot bird friend will be missed. I wrapped an arm around John's shoulder as he lowered the microphone from his face. There was a moment of silence, and then John passed the microphone back to the MC. After John's announcement, there wasn't much more to the tournament. The crowd left soberly, and the excitement of our victory vanished. At least it did until Satch met me just outside the arcade. Well, met us outside the arcade.
What?
Jacques has been broken this whole time? Why didn't you tell me? Let me have a look at him. I'll see what I can do. Satch took Jacques under his wing. Enlisted the help of the only other person in the academy who would understand robots. You mean, Kakusu. Yeah, because for some reason she's a robot, and we have no idea about this girl. Like, you know, you're not going to explain anything about this fact that we have a robot walking around here? I don't understand. Why her of all people? Is she part of the electronics club or something? You have no idea. Don't worry about it. John paced the floor like an expectant father, glancing up every so often at how the operations were proceeding. John, don't worry. Jacques can't get any worse than he already is. I know that, Hana. I know. John stopped pacing, instead coming to rest his head on my shoulder. I know he can't get any worse. What if he gets better? Part of me wants him to come back, and part of me... John... What if he doesn't have his memories anymore? What if he's got a completely different personality? What if he doesn't like me? How in the world am I going to deal with that? John, I really don't think you need to worry about that. A small thump came from inside the room, and John jumped. Everything okay? Nothing to report. We've got it handled. Okay. John resumed pacing the floor. No matter what I did, nothing would calm him down. He was beyond help. Finally, the operations were done, and Satch Katsuko approached us nervously. Well, how did it go? Not well, I'm assuming. The operation was a complete success. Oh, thank God. Jacques, you're back! John. I've missed you, John. Jacques! The rest of us left after that. John was tearing up, and we thought it best to give him some privacy. That's a good point. It's like, why didn't he just go to the guy who knows about robotics in the first place? Saved us all the headache. In fact, I didn't see him for several days. Well, he's got a lot of catching up to do. I mean, I'm sure he's got to tell Jacques everything what happened. But eventually. Aww. He can even fly now. Can you believe that? Satch said Kakusu did some kind of optimization on him so his wires don't run through his wings anymore. He's happy as a clam. Jacques swooped down between us for a split second, just long enough to add, I resent that. I really think he could be a star someday, Hana. I'm sure he can, John. I'm sure he can. We'll see what I say about that. John and I were officially dating. Jacques, our ever-present third wheel. Well, that was how I would have liked it to be. To be honest, it was more like I was the third wheel. John and Jacques' bond, stronger than steel and wires, surpassed even the love John and I had for each other. but I didn't mind. All I cared about was seeing John happy, and if Jacques was a part of that, well, maybe I could learn to love Jacques too. I have a bright future ahead of me. I believe this.
Yeah!
You do. You do. Together, we'll be the best actor-manager pair the world has ever seen. You will see our name in lights if it's the last thing I ever do, believe me. And of course, Hana will be by our side the whole way through. Right, Hana?
Yeah.
Of course.
Huh.
Man, this is great. I've got 2 talented actors with me, not to mention a girlfriend I absolutely know I can count on. We've got a bright future ahead of us. I just know it. Not if I can help it. These 2. It looked like I would be stuck with them for a long time to come. And to be honest, that sounded wonderful to me. Ah, best end. Oh, so I didn't even have to worry about John winning. It just had to be that I won. Cool. That's awesome. But that's the best ending in the game, so I'm guessing the good ending is that you lose the tournament, but you still get John as a boyfriend. So, not bad, not bad. I quite like that ending. It was sweet. But again, it does kind of bring up the point of, why didn't John go to Satch in the first place? This would have saved us all a headache. Whatever. I still lost Mr. Bunny in the end, so meh. But oh my god, that was adorable. That's an ending. That is a proper ending. Who knew that actually talking to BBG was the best option? I'm surprised, considering I thought it was that we had to basically shut everything out and be like, we have to focus entirely on John, but who knew that actually worked? Oh my god, but I am quite pleased with that ending. That is an ending worth getting. Much better than the last 2 for by far. And yeah, I'm guessing that the good ending is supposed to be we don't join the Normal Boots Club, but we get John as a boyfriend, so that's a plus too. But this one's a lot nicer, although a little questionable with the whole thing. And we never actually found out what happened to that bird, did we? Whatever happened to the bird, the actual bird, not just Jacques? That I'd like to know, but what are you gonna do? But this was definitely an awesome little thing. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do all the other endings yet. There's a lot to go through with this game, and considering how long it took me just to finish one route, I might just leave it off here just because it's been a while, and you know, this is kind of a nice little thing to end on, in a way, if you think about it. So, yeah, let me know in the comments below if you guys want to see any more of the other routes that you could take, like PBG, Pro Jared, Satch. There's even, I think, some ones where you don't even choose somebody. Oh, we got some more to go. Jacques, over here, please look at me. No, over here. Sign my autograph, I love you. You've created a monster. No, I've created a star. I have to admit, I had my doubts about this whole Jacques is a superstar deal, but I guess you knew exactly what you were doing.
I know, right?
Hell yeah, I did. Jacques was now an internationally recognized celebrity with fans from several countries and all walks of life. They came from far and wide to see this amazing acting bird. At first, he was just a novelty, but it seemed that the first time someone saw him perform live, they fell in love. His fandom grew exponentially until we had to take him on tour, and then he started getting television and movie offers. Jacques just had a way about him that just made people want to love him. It was an odd turn of events, but I was enjoying the ride for the most part. And now that Jacques is a star, I'm ready to set my eyes on my next. Your next? John winked at me. I didn't like that look. But that was a discussion for another day. John watched his bird, stars in his eyes. My beloved Jacques. I mean, would it kill him to pay more attention to his actual girlfriend? I know, right? I sighed and wrapped an arm through John's. Some things would never change. That's a little...
Academy Normal Boots Club.
That's a little disappointing at the end there, where he's kind of more into his bird than us, but... Well, to be fair, guys usually tend to be more happy when they are successful career-wise, not so much romance-wise, like with girls and such. So, but everyone's different, I don't know. So, let me know in the comments below if you want to see any more of this, see another route I can take. I don't know, this might be the very end of the game. We'll just have to see. I'm letting it up to you guys to see what happens. But for now, this is StarPrincessHLC saying, thank you very much for watching, and have a fond farewell.